Car Cost Canada provides the dealer cost, a list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. The link is in the description below. Welcome to Austria for the launch of the new CLA. Actually, we picked this car up in Germany in downtown Munich and have been driving out here into the beginning of the Alps, beautiful Lake District, test driving the all-new CLA. And you might be wondering, why is Mercedes bringing out a second-generation CLA when they just launched the A-Class? Well, they want to differentiate the two. So A-Class is going to be the entry level, starting at roughly $35,000 in the Canadian marketplace. It's sold as a hatch or the sedan. Now, what they've done with CLA is now they call it CLA Coupe. And to make it look maybe like a coupe, they've made the hood a little bit longer with the bulges in the hood. The greenhouse, the glass has been swept back a little bit. This car's a little longer, a little wider, but a little bit shorter, and that's how they're calling it a coupe. I know it's a trend that a lot of people don't like, but that's what they're going with. And they're also differentiating it in the marketplace, making it a little bit more upscale from that A-Class. Only going to be sold as the 250 variant, only going to be sold with 4MATIC, and in Canada only sold with the AMG Appearance Package. That's the car we have here. And what do you get with that? You get the unique diamond grille, you get the lower diffuser in the front, you get the side skirts along the side, and also the diffuser around the bottom bumper as well. Now, the most dramatic change for me visually with this car is the back. It now has a clean family resemblance. They moved the license plate down into the bumper, and from, 50, 100 meters, it looks like an E-Class, an S-Class, actually nice looking from the back. So I think on styling, they've done a good job. By the way, the AMG Appearance Package cars we get in Canada will come with standard 18-inch wheels. The one you see here has optional 19-inch wheels. So what we're going to do now is get inside, go for a drive. I'm going to talk a little bit about the inside and find out if this car has gone up market. Now you might be wondering, just how successful has the CLA and the small car family from Mercedes-Benz been since they introduced it? Because it wasn't that long ago, the smallest car was the C-Class. Then we had the B-Class, the CLA, the GLA. Well, they have sold 750,000 CLAs, and one in every 5 Mercedes-Benz that's sold, including their SUVs and their larger sedans, are their small family of vehicles. So yes, they've been very successful. And this new CLA is quite a bit different from that first effort. They tried with the first CLA to make it different from the rest of the family, to have a sharper on-road ride and to have sharper looks. Well, they accomplished what they wanted, and now they're trying to make the car more mature and like the rest of the line. So the car we get in Canada is going to be the CLA 250 with standard 4MATIC. What does that mean? Well, we get a 221 horsepower turbo 4-cylinder engine. It's a twin scroll turbo, and it has 221 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. But here's what I like. Maximum torque is just at 1800 RPM, and you put your foot into this car and it comes away with a surge of power. It really is quite satisfying. Now, the ride and the way it feels is dramatically different from the first car. I found the first CLA could be kind of crashy over uneven pavement. We have beautiful roads here in Austria and Germany, but this car is doing a wonderful job, and it is so much quieter than the previous effort. Now, the car we're driving does have the adaptive dampers in Canada. We will not get that, but part of that AMG package is we get a lowered suspension by 10 millimeters, which will make the car look good, along with the standard 18-inch wheels. One thing I forgot to mention on the outside, this car comes standard with LED lights front and back. The other thing you notice is the transmission. The shifts are so smooth and precise. It makes this car feel so much more polished. That's probably the best way to describe it. They've taken this car and they've just made everything better. They've been polishing all efforts with this vehicle. The steering, the handling, the ride, the quietness, all of that put together makes this feel much more like the rest of the Mercedes-Benz family. And this car will go 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in just over 6 seconds. Now, we're hoping they're going to come out with an AMG version of this car one day, but that's not the case just now. And then we concentrate on the interior of this car, and this is where the final layer on the cake comes in. So you've got a nice looking car, I think, really nice to drive, and then you add in what the rest of the Mercedes-Benz family has, and that's the MBUX infotainment system that really is an eye-popper when you get in any of their new vehicles. So what we get in Canada is a 7-inch screen behind the instrument cluster and a 7-inch MBUX screen on the right. That's the infotainment system. That's the base version. However, if you opt to go to the extra package, they go to 10.25 inches for both the instrument cluster and for the infotainment system. And that's controlled with a trackpad and a new command controller here in the center, which is really quite easy to use. It has some gesture controls that are available as well. So this is the latest technology distilled down into the A-Class and to the CLA, which kind of begs the question, if they can put this in an S-Class and an A-Class, they must have really sharpened their pencil on how much it costs to actually make this system to have it available in such a wide spectrum of vehicles. The first generation of CLA, it had a nice look, but it didn't feel like a high quality interior. The materials, the fit and finish in this car now look so much better. Also, you get standard sport seats for the Canadian market that are heated and optional ventilated seats. You get the standard sport steering wheel, the one you see here. So a nice looking package. The engineers and designers on hand told me that this car does differ quite a lot from the A-Class. The biggest difference is that this CLA has a wider track and a much more impressive suspension, meaning that it sits longer and lower to the ground, giving a much better on-road presence. And that was definitely noticeable. The design over the previous CLA has a longer hood, meaning that the top of the hood has been stretched out by 50 millimeters over the front bumper, giving it a shark-nosed look. Along the sides, there's very few creases. What it's designed to do is collect and catch the light and reflections differently. But the back is what really sells it. It makes it look much more upscale. One of the coolest party tricks on the inside is the MBUX system has the ability with the navigation to project the camera that's placed in the front of the vehicle onto the screen.
In 200 meters, turn slight left onto Bookvake. Now turn slight left.
After you get used to it, it's very handy, especially being in a strange city. So the question is, do you think this is worth what probably is going to be a premium over the A-Class sedan to get the CLA Coupe? Is it a coupe? It's going to be interesting to see. I think they've done a nice job of equipping it with all that AMG appearance, the nicer interior with the bucket seats, but we'll have to find out what the total price is. Now here's the thing, whether it's the A-Class or the CLA, these are not big cars. The back seat is a little bit tight. The trunk is big. The trunk is surprisingly big, but the back seats are a little bit tight. Maybe not the best for a family. That's where a regular old C-Class would come in handy. But this is a car that might be perfect for somebody getting their first premium car, no kids yet, or maybe an empty nester downsizing. And if you are, you're getting a very nice car to drive. This is no longer the budget feeling Mercedes-Benz. This is the real deal, just in a smaller package. So when is this CLA Coupe coming to market? It'll be arriving this fall as a 2020 model. Now the pricing of the A-Class sedan, $35,000. The current CLA is right around $40,000, and I expect this car to be close to that. So does it deliver on the promise of being more upscale and different from that car? Yes, this car is dramatically different from the very first CLA. That car was kind of rough, not that sophisticated, and didn't feel like a proper Mercedes-Benz. Now it does. Great ride, great interior. Now all you have to do is wait for it to arrive this fall. Car Cost Canada provides the dealer cost, a list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. The link is in the description below.